Okay, so we're going to pick off where we left off. Here is the first part that we did with our hammerhead. And the first thing that we're going to do is this gray is getting kind of boring here. So we're going to go over here to our browser. We're going to click part 4, go up to our appearance menu, which is that colored circle there, and then go ahead and change the appearance. So if you want to have a brass or a bronze or something like that, you can go ahead and choose that. And then the rest of the model will be that that appearance, whatever appearance you choose for it. Okay, so we've got some more work to do, and the first thing that we want to do is we want to offset this back plane. So offset from plane, we're going to click here, and we're going to push this pretty far back. We're going to go down 200 millimeters, okay? So let me zoom out there. Now we've got that sketch plane, so we're going to do something with it. Okay, we're going to create a sketch on it, as you might expect from our sketch plane. So I'm going to click on that guy. We're going to go and create a line here. And the only thing that we want to make sure of is that it's beneath this point and that it is perfectly parallel. So 60 millimeter line looks pretty good to me. I'm going to right click, hit OK. And then we're going to dimension that line, and we're going to dimension it in kind of a different way. So I want you to pay attention to this part. We're going to click on this center point here, okay, and then click dimension, and then we're going to click on the center point, and then the line, and then drag up and to the right ever so slightly and click, and we're going to type in 34.55 millimeters. Now, that's dimensioned the line from the center point that distance. That's why we clicked on the center point. Okay, that looks good to me, so we're going to go ahead and finish sketch. And then we're going to do something else here that's a little bit different. We're going to go to the plane menu, and we're going to go all the way down to where it says angle to plane around edge. And we're going to click on that work plane that we just drew the line on. And then we're going to actually click on the line, which is going to create this plane here. Now, if I click and drag that arrow, right, you'll notice it's swinging around that line we created. In fact, we want it to swing around that line. We want it to swing 200 degrees. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the right face so you can see. That plane that was flat is now swung around 200 degrees. Okay. So we're going to create a 2D sketch on that plane. But before we do, let's go ahead and take this guy right here and let's make him invisible. So I'm going to go over to my browser. I'm going to right click. Go in my browser, I'm going to right click visibility and uncheck that. So now he's disappeared, so he's not going to get in our way. Okay, so we're going to go and create a 2D sketch on our angled plane, and we are going to project geometry. What are we going to project the geometry of that line we just created? Okay, and that's it for now. We're going to finish sketch. Sketch 5, this we don't need to look at this anymore, so we're going to right click on it and make that invisible as well because we have the line. Okay, so here we've got sketch 6. Okay, I'm going to double click on sketch 6 because now I want to get in there, and I want to make a rectangle. I'm going to make this rectangle. I'm going to start it in the center of that line that we just projected onto that surface. And I'm going to do 150 millimeters by 5 millimeters, just like that. And then you should see that we have our rectangle here. And I'm going to swirl it around this way because it makes it a little easier viewing. And that line inside our rectangle, at this point, I want to go ahead and make a construction line. So I'm going to go and click on that line. And I'm going to go and click on construction line just so that it doesn't accidentally interfere with what it is that we are trying to do. Okay, so we're going to finish that sketch, zoom out, and at this point, right, we need to go over here to our YZ plane. I'm going to click on it and I'm going to make that visible for a second. Okay, I'm going to create a 2D sketch on that plane. And right here, I want to project the geometry. But what geometry do I want to project? Well, that's a good question. I want to project that center point right there. And I want to project the center point of our line that we created. So I'm going to zoom in here. That construction line that we created right there. Once I've done that, then I want to go over here to this arc tool, and I want to start an arc right there, and I want to bring that arc over to that center point that we just projected onto this plane. Okay, so now we've got the arc. See it? We can go any way we want. We're going to go ahead and type 550 millimeters into that, and now we've got that arc. We can hit Finish Sketch, and then check this out, guys. This part's really cool. So we're going to go over here to Loft, okay? I'm going to loft that back face. One second. Zoom in here. It makes it a little easier to see. I'm going to loft the back face right. Come on now. There. And I'm going to loft the face of my rectangle to start the process of creating the back end of our hammer, the crosspeen of our hammer. But then I'm going to pick this option here, which is center line. Well, what center line are we going to pick? We're going to pick the arc that we just created. We're going to hit OK. And when we do that, everybody, we get that nice, beautiful curve for our hammerhead. So as you can see, it's not too hard. I think you guys can definitely handle it. And let me know if you have any questions, all right? All right.